What if I told you that defiance is just a cry for help? I am not in support of tolerating rude behavior or insubordination or defiance or disrespect or outright rebellion. No, 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 none of those. But what if I told you that defiance is simply pointing to the fact that there is an underlying problem and defiance is just a symptom of the problem? Now, one of the things we do many times as parents is that when our child or when our children or our teenagers, when they act out, we tackle that situation and not go deep to find out the underlying causes. Because if all we treat are symptoms, then there's going to be a repetition in various ways, various circumstances, various situations, same problem manifesting in different ways. Now, before I plunge into the heart of this conversation, just let me read you a story, right? So yes, a story we used during the webinar, the story of a particular defiant child. My 15-year-old son bullies me. He shouts at me, swears, calls me names, pushes me, grabs me, and continually and consistently defies me. I have a good man as my husband, but we have come to a difficult situation. We blame each other, and I feel and tell him I am not supported by him. I feel at such a low and don't know what I should do. I have two other children who respond normally with me. I have been to my doctor, but he didn't help. He just told me I should throw him out of the house. He's my son, and I can see he is struggling, and I want to reach out to him, but he won't let me near. He kicks me off his bed if I sit on it, pushes me forcibly out of his room or his way. Please, who can help me? I have broken down in front of my parents and my in-laws, but no one helps. Now that is not a Tales by Moonlight story. That's actually someone's true experience. Believe me, that's a mother's experience. So she's having this kind of problem, and it is, well, if this isn't an African mother, but if this was an African mother, of course, we all know what the response will be. A lot of slaps, a lot of beatings, a lot of all of those things we tag as African parenting, even though I completely disagree with that notion of African parenting, and I'm going to record a video to tackle African parenting some other time, but for the purpose of this video, we're going to stay on defiance, right? So this is a mother who's experiencing constant defiance from her son. Now, not many people have this level of defiance. Not many people have to deal with this level of defiance, but this is something this woman is dealing with. What do you do when you're faced with a situation like this? Now, it is easy to believe that this boy is just stubborn, disrespectful, rebellious, and yes, he's all of that. But there is a trigger. There's something. See, our adolescents don't just act out, right? Because they are in a transitory phase, a phase where they've not mastered a lot of things. I mean, as adults, we know how transitory phases are like. I mean, when you're about to move houses, for example, you're transitioning from one house to another, you know how difficult it can be having to combine that with work and all. You know how stressful and emotionally draining that can be. And that's just transiting from a house to another house. Now, this is an adolescent transiting from childhood to adulthood. What this implies is that this child has not mastered the art of has not mastered his emotions, right? So this is a boy who is going through something emotionally and does not know how to express it. The only way he can express it is by acting out and being defiant. Okay, so let me tell you the other things. Recall what I said at the beginning. What if I told you that defiance is a cry for help? Now, in this particular situation, this boy is crying out for help. Why? If you listen properly to what I said, I'll try to bring it back to the screen, but if you listen properly to what I said, you'll see that part where she said, I feel like my husband is not there, he's not supportive, right? Now, the whole story is this. Now, this woman consistently defies her husband. She disrespects him. Now, in her own way, she doesn't see it as disrespect, but the man sees it as disrespect. The son sees it as disrespect. Her other two children, who are normal children, unfortunately or fortunately, happen to be girls, right? So, this is the only boy who has seen his father consistently get disrespected, who sometimes will expect his father to talk back or to, protest, but he doesn't do any of that. Instead, when she begins her nagging and disrespect, he just walks out quietly like the gentleman he is. And so the son is the one who watches all of the events unfold. And he gets hurt personally. I mean, how can you do this to my dad? So he has suppressed rage in his heart. Right? And this is something that had been going on for quite a while. So, as soon as the opportunity presented itself, and that's an opportunity adolescence will always bring. Adolescence is a phase where the child wants autonomy, wants independence, and it's not just about him wanting it. His biology, his physiological makeup ensures that that process of wanting autonomy occurs, right? It's a biological. So when he got into that phase of seeking autonomy, every other thing his mother will do to him, he began to view through the lens of that disrespect. So you hear him saying things like, I don't want any woman to treat me the way my mother is treating my father, right? And so the first woman in his life is his mother. And who else is available to practice on but his mother? Right? So this is a boy who's experiencing suppressed rage and has eventually found a channel to let it out by venting on his mom. Now, his mom did not know this at the time. I'm sure by now she does, but she didn't know this at the time. And so she felt this was her son just misbehaving, whereas this was her son responding to a family situation. Now, I say this because a lot of times we think the fight is between daddy and mommy. You do not realize that your children are active participants, even if on the outside they look like passive participants. But no, they are active because every word spoken, every act done, they are creating deposits in their heart, creating emotional deposits. And these are people who have not mastered their emotions. They still do not know how to control it, how to filter it, how to put this here and put that there, to segment all of these emotions. They've not mastered it. So you're rocking one emotion, it's going to transfer to all of the others. And the first people to experience the aftermath of this suppressed rage, the parents. So the next time your child acts out or is being defiant, what do? Oftentimes we raise our voices, we shout back, don't go there, go there. No, we do that, but that's actually extremely super counterproductive. That's not the way to go. The first thing you have to do is stop. And if you look at your previous post, the acronym STOP has been used there. STOP is the acronym for slow down, thankful, observe your emotions, and plan. To do anything, to act or to respond to that situation. And I'm choosing the word respond carefully because many times we react. You have to respond. To respond to a defiant teenager, you first need to stop. After you stop, you then make a plan or as to what are the next steps. How do I understand what this child is saying to me? How do I dig in to know exactly what problems this child might be going through that is causing all of this? Because truly, defiance is not a standalone problem. Defiance is a symptom of a much deeper problem. So the next time your adolescent is being defiant, try to find out exactly what the cause is. And we actually have a parenting course currently running, and in that course it's titled Engaging the World of Adolescence. In that course, everything you need to know about how to parent your adolescent in this 21st century social climb is detailed in there. It's currently on a discounted offer of 20,000 naira or $50, and I will actually I'd really advise you to just pay for that course, because the next time it's going to come up, it definitely will not be at that price. Like I said in the last webinar, we had a sponsor who decided to take care of 60% of the course fee, and he deliberately did that so that there can be a commitment fee of 40%, else everybody will come in and people might not finish. We value most times what we invest our resources into. So I'll advise you to do that. And don't forget, the next time your adolescent acts out, or the next time they are being defiant, find out what exactly is the problem. Defiance is not a standalone problem. It's actually a symptom of something much deeper. See you next time.